2, 1. We are good to go. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here bringing you the Dread Zone Gaming Styx versus MG Black in the Xenon League for Metashift. Sorry for the quick delay, as we had a little bit of a driver issue getting us a little bit behind the curve, and we already have a lot of stuff going on. I'm joined tonight by Morpheus. Morpheus, how the hell are you, man, and what are you seeing? Not what you want to see at all, and especially since they already had the Ornn pickup as well. So the Renekton getting locked in. We already have the Vigar, Ezreal, Nautilus versus the Jinx, Karma, Orianna here, and junglers being last to pick on both sides here. That's interesting.
Yeah, the jungle's big one. I think they just wanted to save cute to see where she's able to kind of influence the most. There's a lot of jungle bands that did come through with Viego, Nocturne, Kindred, Lilia, Fiddlesticks, Diana even potentially can still be there as well. Volibear coming through for the side of Clasper, so we're very curious to see what Q picks here though. I don't like this Renekton. I think Renekton is so bad right now, especially going into an all like you just don't do anything. The comp from MG Black is started off a little weird, but it's kind of come together nicely with the Ornn and the Volibear. I'm very curious to see. Ooh, Trundle's not bad. I'm okay with the Trundle pick here. A lot of beef, but you're really heavily relying on Dracana and Astra here to shell out heavy damage.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Trundle is great into the Ornn. Volibear is able to take down those tank stats with the Subject Gate coming through. That is nice. But I feel like Renekton is almost forced to go into a first item work here, which is very...
yes.
yes, words, right? And the struggle that I have with this is, yeah, you're getting the first item bork here, which means you can't go the Hull Breaker. You're not able to go into your Mythic right off the bat, and it creates a lot of problems. And if you don't go the bork, I feel like you never kill one. I feel like you're never able to take down this champion in the side lane. You might be able to cheese him out like pre-6, but if Ornn plays it well, which, I mean, it's not hard to play Ornn, then it should be fine. But coming here from the side of MG Black, this is super standard League of Legends. You have the control mage in the mid lane, the supporting support, the hyper damage 80 carry, the tank top with, the X factor in the jungle. And kind of like you were saying, it's going to really come down for the scaling from Dracana to come out, the Ezreal poke damage to really come online. But your whole team comp is really feast or famine based on what this Renekton's able to provide to the team.
Yeah, and one thing to keep in mind is that there is a very, very good delivery system on the side of MG Back. Volibear can just press R and Orianna's already there. Mm-hmm. And there's Shockwave ready for you. And a team where you want to keep Ezreal piloted by Astra is able to keep himself safe because he has his own heal. Dracana's going to be very careful. One Shockwave and boom, you're gone. Because Volibear will just fire for you, Ornn will be there as well. You just be chain CC things. So very good to see how that turns out. I would imagine the comp is, like you said, looks a lot more standard on the side of MG Black. However, saying that, the longer this game does go on, you have to think if you're on the side of 6, Veigar has the win button. With DR. 100%. But Dracana just needs to make sure that, hey, you don't die, survive longer, don't lose your lane. I would assume this lane is just as boring as it's going to get. The straight up handshake, which may allow Washed to be able to go out and roam. To be able to influence side lanes a little bit better than Dracana can. So a lot is going to be on making sure, if you look at Q, on the Trundle, hey, can you make sure that Shane is able to at least get ahead? You want a Renekton ahead, because a Renekton that loses this lane or even stays even, it's really useless, bro. Right?
Yeah,
it's just not really going to happen.
And it's going to be not entirely really hard to get onto the strings, right? Like, the Karma is going to be able to offer a lot of shields, Orianna can offer the shields, and I mean, there's peel factor coming in from the Ornn Volibear here, but the big thing is you really have to watch your positioning. If you go too deep with a slice and dice into the enemy lines, you're going to have a bad time. Hopefully you're followed by a Trundle, but if you're followed by a Trundle, the Nautilus needs to be on the back line, peeling for Vigar and Ezreal, and making sure that these tools aren't able to get in there. But, I mean, it all really comes down to the placement of the ball, the team's positioning around the ball placement, because Shockwave is one of those cooldowns that can completely reorient the landscape of the team fight. Just turn it on its head and ruin everybody's day completely. But we do see everybody locked in, no surprise flex picks coming in, everything looks like very standard, like maybe even like 4 to 5 seasons ago League of Legends here. But you saw both team comps, and I gotta ask you, even though I'm pretty sure, just based on the Renekton alone, who you giving the big edge to here?
I think MG6 kind of have just somewhat one drop. It's not heavy because the saving factor on the side of DZG is Edge is able to peel out from himself. You have so much beef on the front line of DZG, as well as a Trundle who can obviously shred. Most likely will be the Ornn, Marcotte or Marcotte. So with the Subjugate. So it really depends. The longer these team fights go out, the last, I would imagine they will be better for MG Styx. So you really want to just completely burst and run away if you're on the side of DZG.
To clarify, NG Black, and then NG Black.
MG Black, yes.
With that being said, we are going to be heading into this quick spectate delay here. But first, I do want to kind of point out, maybe you saw it on the stream, but once again, DZG has another sponsorship. Star Trek, Starfleet has given us an awesome sponsorship. Go ahead and type exclamation mark start in the chat. Download the game, play it a little bit. If you like it, enjoy it. And if not, hey, all the support that you can bring to the DZG organization helps us keep the lights on, ladies and gentlemen. So, that being said, head into the spectate delay real quick. We'll be bringing you some DZG Styx action versus MG Black very soon. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we are into the action now. It's had a little bit of a pause to get everything started off, but once again, join my Morpheus here as both sides are hitting onto the rift. We have blue side doing what looks to be a 5-man fan out here. The side of DZG looking for a little bit of a 5-man stack here. So, Morpheus, looking at this game, hopefully we get a little bit of action. I always love to see some level 1 shenanigans, as that is Oriana Ball scouting things out.
Let me get some commitment. Let me get some commitment.
Oh! His reality real will not be able to find the avenue for the hook, but DZG going and getting the vision, and it looks like the side of MG Black will not be contesting on the opposite side of the rift here to get vision at the bot side. So, with that being said, oh, a little bit awkward there. 1 second. Alright, there we go. Sorry about that. And, yeah, definitely not getting the level 1 that we really needed there for the side of DZG, but like I said, that vision being completely uncontested, that is nice. But we do see just the runes and summoners coming up from anybody. Predator on the Vigar, pretty standard. Azrael going the first strike, but any comments that you have?
No, standard across the board. Predator and Vagar is terrifying when you see a little man like that about to throw the world's biggest universe in your face. Everything is very, very substandard on both sides. So was a bit of a mistake on the side of MG Black because 0-2 was potentially could have walked into the jungle of DZG to get some vision down to see where Q would start. I would assume everyone knows that, hey, because if you look on the map right now with Ezreal and Nautilus coming into lane so late, they're going to assume that, hey, they know Q started on the bot side here, though. Mid lane is probably just going to be extremely boring for most of the time being because it's just Vagar just is all he wants to do. He just wants to farm. Doesn't want to do anything else. Side lanes, I would expect Astro to be a little aggro here on the Ezreal, especially having first strike. But where I want to make sure we keep our attention is the top lane. Shane versus Marcotte. This is where a lot of the game's balance will be. If Shane falls behind, Renekton's just not. It just becomes a point-and-click CC bot at that point. Right. If he's able to get ahead, he can potentially look to carry the game.
Well, we are seeing the aggressive play coming out right now. That is a hook, and 0-2 taking a lot of damage here. Astro in his reality real, trying to get this damage out. The time for the ignite is ticking, but it will be the lockdown coming onto Astro. Now the damage is going to be swapped around. The heal has to come out. Now it's going to be Karma flashing forward. The damage now going back out onto the Karma. Dragon Mooncake is low. First blood going in Astro's pocket. Now Astro doing everything she can to stay alive, but it was not enough. 0-2 now getting excited, trying to run around and kite this out. Both level 2s for Nautilus and the Jinx on the bot side. They're still running this run around, and I think that will be Jinx surviving. Oh no, damage now fighting up here on the top side, and I think we're going to be fine as Shane is now super low, forced to use the flash out. Volibear now here on the bot side of the map may try to look to get onto his reality real. He has no access to summoners. Volibear looking to go in now. He's speeding up, he's running, and the hook will get reality real to safety.
That was one hell of a close fight bot lane. Asher doing a great job in getting that first blood there. Kill also going over to 0 as well, though, which makes things...
Oh, that is not connected! That was max range! Astro Arcane shifts in, gets a Q, picks up the kill. Jinx with a little hard hair. That is not going to be enough for her in the bot lane, as she will fall. Astro 2-1.
How did that hit? That's like my solo queue games, bro. That should not have hit.
That was like one of those lollipop queues you used to see back in the day. That was fun to see. Now, Cute here up in the top side, I don't think they're going to get anything for this, but definitely looking to chase off El Marcotte here in the top lane just a little bit, and DZG striking real quick in this early game.
That was, that's a lot. Okay, this is what you want to do on the side of DZG. I mean, you've got early lead now here on the Ezreal, so Asher's going to be able to hopefully carry this lane through. Top lane, if you're Shane, it's still relatively even CS-wise. You have to be careful when you're going up against an Ornn, because remember, if you didn't know, Norn is not only a tank, but he's also an assassin, he is a mage, he is a fighter, he is a bruiser, he's also an AD carry, in case you weren't aware of. So, he does shut out a lot of damage with looking deceptive about it. It's quite low here, Marcotte, with mana, so I don't imagine there'll be too much fighting on the top side. Bot lane, they're just trading back and forth there. But this is what you want to see. Ezreal wants to poke. He wants to be able to push 0 out to say, hey, I don't want you to be able to get any of this farm. Shane getting knocked up there. Will he eat a tower shot for his troubles?
He did get a lot of damage there, and he's trying to play this as aggressively as possible, but Ornn looks like he's going for the Tabby as soon as possible. That's going to reduce a lot of the damage that Shane wants to do here, and the bot lane is just playing so aggressively here. That Drake should be theirs anytime that they want it.
Yeah, I would imagine when Strakana comes back into lane, we'll be at least hold washed in the mid lane, and then Cutie will be able to go there to be able to at least lock down the Drake because bot lane will just have prior hit. They want this wave to crash into the tower of MG Black, which will allow Cutie to start up, as you see, start up right there. Reality is also moving over just to make sure Cutie is well taken care of.
Well, one thing that I do want to point out here is that looking like we're actually going to get the Bramble Vest coming out of Ornn in the top side, but that's a pickaxe start from Renekton, and I have to imagine that that is a hull breaker coming through for him in the future.
It is. I mean, here's one thing to look. Oh,
Ah,
that was so
a Baby Cage
close.
connected, is reality real, was there, Nautilus Hook primed up, and that was going to be a very bad time for Washed, who actually does not have the barrier here. Took the teleport to match the lane movements here from the side
Wait,
of
whiff.
Dracana, but whiffing coming out here, but
Clasper's
that will
here.
be Clasper on the top side of the map now. Shane does not have access to the slice and dice. He's going to be slowed. He's going to pop the ultimate now to try to survive as long as possible, but I don't think long enough is going to be
Beauty's
what
coming.
he's going to be able to do. Cute is coming
Beauty's
down,
here.
but there's a lot of damage. Now, Cute might be in a rock in a hard place as the Ornhorn is sounded. Knockup coming through. The W coming in from Clasper. That is a flash from Cute to try to get out. The Brittle will be here. Now, Dracana coming up from the bot side, or I'm sorry, from the lane, but will that be enough? No. El Marcotte is put into the Baby Cage, but the damage is not going to be here. Teleport coming from the Renekton, but will he be coming in to seal his doom? And no, it looks like the side of MG Black will just be able to walk this one out, but getting 2 kills for their troubles.
That was really unorthodox play by the side of DZG. It was very much so on the cusp whether Cute would have been able to join that fight or not. Just happened to join at the very, very last moments. Now, saying that it is unfortunate because Cute also did burn flash to get out of that as well. Shane survived for as long as he could. This is where he didn't want to be. Now Marcotte on this Ornn has got a kill, has got plated steel caps right now. Next item I would hope would be a Warden's Mail. As far as gold efficiency goes, gold Warden Mails is actually the more efficient of the two armor items, comparing it to Bramble Vest. But looking at this, it just doesn't want to stop. Shane isn't really getting
to do anything.
Clasper's here as well.
Up here again does not have access to turn off this tower, nor is the Ornn ultimate available, so I think Shane should be safe, and he's trying to get in there with his Q as often as possible. Now, in the bot lane here, the Ignite is already out onto 0-2, the ultimate come out. Ezreal does not take down 0-2, Astro and Reality Real kicking ass in this bot lane. That is a 13 CS lead, that is 1 kill up, and they are just not turning off this aggressive machine. Now, it looks like we're getting a dive here. The tower will be turned off. They waited for the ultimate. Now Shane, he cannot survive it. Clasper will take him down in the top lane. And DZG, just like that, now sitting at a gold deficit as they found the pressure point that they wanted to take down, and they are doing it in stellar fashion.
So here's the thing. If you look at both teams, look at where the attention is being focused on both sides. Cute went up earlier to try and see if able to help stabilize the lane for Shane. Didn't quite work, so has decided to put her attention on going bot lane and also focusing on the dragon that was down there. This is giving Astro and Reality quite a hefty lead down there. Now, what you're saying is, okay, we're going to give up Shane, but we're able to at least get Astro, which is one of our carries.
We're going to get some more action here. Cute is in there. That plus the Baby Cage coming out. Now the damage coming out will be enough. And the ultimate comes through. Dracana has slain Washed.
As much as this sucks for Shane, and I feel him, because there are times where you just say, hey, junglers just never leaving me alone. This is great for Astro and great for Dracana. Your carries are the ones getting the gold right now. Shane, at this point, if he ends up going to the Hull Breaker route, which I don't think he actually is.
No, he opted to go for the active item to go for the Gore Drinker here.
Yeah, I would imagine either Gore or Stridebreaker. I would imagine it would be Gore Drinker because he would be just a CC bot flying into the backline. It's as good as you can do. So this is a good transition. If he was looking to go into the Hull Breaker, it is a good transition saying, you know what, I'm far behind. I'm going to be useless on my own. Let me group up with the team. This is the better transition to go about it here. You also notice one thing, though. Clasper is not leaving this top side. This guy is clearing top and then going straight up to Shane consistently now.
But that is a flash coming in from Reality. Now it will be the Baby Cage coming through, but will it be enough? Wash doing everything they can not to get stunned up. One more auto attack did it! And Dracana takes down Washed again, getting all the love that he needs in this mid lane.
That was, this is great. Q has been so active and just throwing pressure around. Reality's been walking around all over the place as well. The gold is now on the side of DZG. They're about 1,000 gold up. If you look at the gold differences between the two carries here, you have 800 gold up on the side of Astro. You have 700 gold up on the side of Dracana. Even though top lane is not great, if we're being straight here. Bramble Vest coming out on the side of Marcotte, though. You still have to give it to the side of DZG. They are still the ones who are the aggressors. They are the ones on the front foot here.
And so I really like this coming out from the side of Marcotte. He went with the Bramble Vest. And, we're going to get more fighting. Now, Clasper is coming in. That was the ultimate coming out from the Nautilus there, but it will not be enough. So much damage. Now, we're getting a fight in the top side. The Ornhorn was popped, and the Indomitable Will coming out from the Renekton there popped as well. But DZG losing a member on the bot side, and that is Drake coming up here in just a few seconds. Now, we do not have objective timers.
Yeah, this isn't great on the side of DZG for this. I mean, it is one Ocean, if you look to pay for it, but Dracana's here.
Oh no, that's going to be a lot of action coming out here. Dracana's going to be very low. Clasper is just running them down. But Jinx through the wall. Now Astro in a bad position here. Maybe she's trying to get the damage out, and it will be semi-effective, as that will be the Karma falling. But it's going to be Trundle falling as well to the side of the Jinx. That is a triple kill coming in from 0-2, and Wash picking that one up to get them right back in this game.
Oh, they couldn't have gone worse, even if they had tried. The gold has now completely swung back into the favor of NG Black. And then, I can't imagine, was that an actual... Did he need to do that? To get the Red Herald pops?
I'm not entirely sure if that was the goal.
That's a long way away,
that,
though. I mean, if it is, that's a great IQ play, but...
I think that was the I need to ward button, and it just, that's going to be a crash in the bot lane and give him some gold for his troubles. But little Clasper doing his best Blabber cosplay here, now sitting 17, almost 1,800 gold up on Cute here. That is insane.
And one thing to notice is that even though Shane has been put far behind because of the ganks that have come in his way, courtity of Clasper, he's only 200 gold down. So
oh no,
bad,
Cute.
Again.
This is not where you want to invade here. Clasper flashes over the ultimate, the baby cage here, but now Shane is in this fight as well. But that is a lot of damage coming out onto Shane. He's running for his dear life. Clasper running this one down as fast as he can, and he is damn fast. Shane does not have access to tier 2 boots. Clasper is now unstoppable. The Super Mega Death Rocket coming in will not connect on the target, and just like that, 10-5 is the scoreline here, and DZG are just not making the plays that they need to be making here.
Yeah, I think it's also looking like they're trying to be proactive, which is one thing to keep in mind. Being proactive is always a good thing, but you don't want to get overly aggressive here. Dracana, while it is far ahead on this Veigar, still doesn't have quite the damage yet to be able to get through any of these frontliners. That's one thing that they're going to find difficult if they don't fight S5, because the Trundle is going to be extremely important for this, as well as Shane once he gets another item or two to start trying shredding armor. Now, one thing you have to notice on the side of 0-0 is the Jinx has the Kraken completed, whereas Wash is still behind as far as item goes. I would assume when Wash next backs would have the item. It's very split right now. Even though MG has the 2k gold advantage here, give it about 1,500. Advantage is like, okay, 0-0 is obviously got some decent gold about it, but Dracana's also strong. Like, it is
100%.
Still easily goes either ways of the game. Don't let the scoreline of 10-5 deceive you.
Certainly not, but the big thing is making sure you keep that right mentality in the game here. But DZG no longer winning these spot fights, is that is a lot of damage coming in from 0-2 on the spot side of the map. And Astro being still a far sight away from her tier is going to be a little bit of a challenge. As Reality here looks for the hook, connects on to 0-2. Damage following up now. Astro doing a lot of damage. The Arcane Barrage coming through, but it will not connect. But that was one hell of a Q coming out from Astro. Damage coming out now. You have to imagine Karma will fall, but Cute takes that one down. DZG strike hard in the bot lane, and this tower, I can't imagine, is long for the world. Plates will fall. Tower will fall. Shockwave is available from the side of Wash here, doing everything that she can, or they can, to defend this. And DZG get a lot on the bot side of the map and completely even this game out.
Reality's been on point with these hooks. That's like the third one that's just come out of nowhere that has landed. One thing to keep in mind, though, Clasper is really far
he's
ahead.
ultimate over the wall, but it will not be enough. That baby cage instantly coming up, and that will be a sad kitty cosplaying as a bear here.
That was a bit ambitious. Clasper's kind of feeling himself, to be real. Saying that, though, Dracana was able to just easily get out of that. The game has slowed down a little bit. Gold is more or less damn near even. We are damn near even now. Next Drake is going to be coming up in a minute 33. I would imagine that's where the next big fight would be. Now, if you look on the side of DZG, Astro has completed the second item already. That is a humongous spike. So this Ezreal is going to be quite a bit of a
that hook connects again! Yeah! Reality connecting with another hook, and there was not the ability for Dracana to be able to follow that up. That was like one of those feeler hooks. We're like, I'm going to toss it up. Well, I connected. So, that was awesome to see. In reality, just on point. Do not give this man a hook champion bot lane from the side of MG Black, because he is finding it left and right. Now it is going to be the Herald started up from the side of MG Black, and I think this is theirs to just take, and Drake scores 1-1. So definitely how this Herald is utilized could change things. Oh my god, Astral took it with the Arcane Barrage!
Yo, I need this bot lane in my flex games. I need Astro Reality in my flex game. Just leave me somewhere else on my own and just carry me. That was a fantastic true shot barrage. Now, generally, second Rift Herald isn't really as valuable as it would be. But that was an impressive steal, because that stops any goal going into the favor of MG. And they get first tower here as well, with Drake coming up in 17 seconds. And with Dracana also most likely going to be getting a push onto mid lane, this should be a free Drake for DZG here.
Look at that gold lead. Astro is now sitting 2k up over the side of 0-2. Mid lane, it's practically even. Orianna getting that kill in the bot lane play. And honestly, the top lane, the jungle differential isn't that bad, but that is Predator and a teleport now coming out. That is going to be the Ornn. Reality Real is in the front line, taking a lot of damage here. Volibear going into the back, but somehow Reality is still alive. And it will be Nautilus falling eventually. Ornn does fall. Volibear falls. Now damage coming out. Oh, Astro! Astro's just on the front line. She does not give a shit at all. 0-2 now pumping her with a lot of damage, and that will be enough to shut her down. But the rest of DZG is there to clean things up. 0-2 falls. DZG with 3 members surviving. That will be the Dragon next on the chopping block here. And DZG probably could have played it a little bit cleaner, but Astro just going right into the face of the enemy team and said, I will kill every last one of you. And she almost does it. DZG with one hell of a play on the bot side.
This game is turning into Astro versus Clasper, so who can make a better impact. Astro, that's the third fight we've seen where she is not afraid to just jump right in, Arcane Shift into the face of the opposing team. That was a little bit overly aggressive though, because 0-2 was able to get the shutdown on Astro, so it does close the gold up a little bit. One thing I just noticed from 0-2 is it looked like originally 0-2 was going to go for the RFC second, which, by the way, is not a great item on Jinx. You should never go RFC second on Jinx. But it's on the smarter move here of what looks like is going to be Phantom Dancer second. Now, on the side of Astro, now that we're looking at the third item, which will most likely be the mythic here, is going to be Crown of the Shattered Queen, going for Ezreal. This, again, is going to be a humongo power spike for Astro. The game is right now on Astro's back.
No, Mark might be in a little bit of a danger here as the hook does not connect. He was unstoppable anyway. But it is all good here as the bot lane has rotated up into the top side of the map. And Astro, man, she now has the computed mana Mune. It is going to be a very hard-hitting Ezreal coming out of Astro here.
I think one thing to keep an eye on is that Reality is hit every hard hook in the game. Easy ones, you're about, I think, 2 out of 4 right now. Is it half of them?
Yep, 50%.
Yeah, we've got a collapse happening topside, though. See Clasper.
Clasper's now up here, the Ornn coming in here. It will connect on the Reality Reel, and that is going to be their target. Super Mega Death Rocket following through as well. But Astro, on the back of the fight, took out Karma. So a 1-for-1 trade so far. Now Clasper going forward. I don't think he wants it, and he has to force Flash immediately. Shane is now up here on the top side. He has damage. He is small, but he's not that small. As Astro going forward, getting a lot of damage through, and that will be Shane taking down Jinx here. Astro takes down Ornn on the backside of the map, and it will be DZG coming up with, I think, 3 there for just 1 loss at the Nautilus.
That Reality survived for a very long time. That Rocket Shield putting in work is what I was thinking there.
Oh, yeah.
Now, this is one thing to know. Shane came in, and, Shane was quite far behind early game. But has now got to the point where he just ran down 0-2. And as a Jinx, a Renekton on, you can't do anything about.
He's actually got an 800 gold lead on Ornn here, which is fantastic to see considering how he was so hard pressured in the early game. And another thing to consider is we talked about the defensive capabilities here for this Jinx. Getting a Renekton off is going to be hard here, as Cute will now take a lot of damage here, but it will be Astro over the wall, putting a lot of damage into Clasper, and Clasper's already half health. She's just dodging and hitting everything. This woman is on a terror spree as she is just chunking the individual members of just everybody and their mother on the side of MG Black. Now Shane will be fighting Marcotte down here in the bot lane. This is a tanky Ornn, but eventually I think he will have to fall. He's taking damage. He's doing everything he can to just get a little bit of CC in his pocket. Now Shane will go on a killing spree, and that will be El Marcotte falling in the bot side.
Yeah, the funny thing is, Marcotte still nearly took down Shane in that. Shane was down to about a fifth of his HP in a 2v1. Ornn is still too bloody strong in the game right now. But Shane is, as you mentioned, pretty much darn far ahead. It's at the point where you can't really... It's going to be very difficult for you to stop anyone on the side of DZG. One thing to keep an eye on, though, we've not said anything about Dracana in the past 10 minutes. Dracana has just been sitting back and just farming like, yep, I'm getting a second item is going to be a Zhonya's, which is probably the smarter thing to do. As much as generally you would end up seeing decap into then defensive items. But the second item, Zhonya's, is smart because if Casper / Marcotte does enter just say, hey, you know what, I'm just going to fly in on you, kind of nullifies that in a sense.
Well, and I mean, he doesn't have to do damage. All of it's coming out of Astra. Like, the assassination from the AD carry is coming in the side of Shane. You just, slice and dice his Renekton, alligator, crocodile, bullet, whatever the hell you want to call him, right? And not even Steve Irwin can take this man down because he's just going into the backline, getting his target, and Jinx dies. All Vigar has to do is just baby cage and delete whoever wants to come his way because Astro's pumping so much damage into this front line. Cute just eviscerating. And another hook! Reality going forward, and it will be Clasper forced to use the ultimate defensively here. And you have either Drake coming up in a minute, or you could just rotate up to the Nash. Them not having access to the ultimate on Volibear is absolutely massive. And the side of DZG know it. You're seeing the pings coming out in the chat, and they are aware.
One thing I want to throw out is that last back that Astro had, she picked up Crown as well as a Last Whisper. Like, she is ridiculously strong right now compared to 0-2, who's at 2 items. Jinx is still a very strong champion with 2 items, particularly with PD. But Ezreal's down 3,500 up, and Reality's going to throw another wood out.
Oh, that one will connect. He no longer has the ultimate to get out of it, and he walks right into the baby cage, and he will fall. Cute getting the pickup on that one on this Trundle, and now DZG, 15 seconds. That was the wrong time to die. And this, we haven't talked about it at all, Morpheus, but this is a Hextech Drake.
Now, while Hextech is not terribly useful as far as itself goes for the attack speed, on the side of DZG, that passive, if they end up getting Soul, is going to be massive.
And this is putting them on Soul Point. So, this is one of those souls that you cannot give over to this DZG roster because they will just absolutely eviscerate you. Plot twist, they're doing it without the soul. So, if they get these extra stats coming in from the soul, and this is a huge pressure point that the side of DZG is able to layer on. They can take Drake, they can take Drake, they can take Nash, they can take towers, and it's not like this team is lacking for damage at all when it comes to objectives. Renekton shreds towers, Trundle shreds towers, Ezreal shreds towers. I think we get the idea here that if this DZG roster ever has access to the structures of the side of MG Black, it's going to be looking like the Lane Dell, the Ruined Capital, for the side of MG Black here. It's not going to be fun.
I think one thing to notice is that Shane just picked up a Black Cleaver as well. We mentioned shredding. The tank's going to have a lot more difficult time now. Not only you have to deal with the Trundle, but Reality is fishing. He's like, we're hunting wabbits. And you get another hook in their ass. Shout out to Spencer if you follow Marvel vs. Capcom. This game is free for DZG at this point. 5,000 gold up, soul points. They can potentially just force mid and top lane in and just allow Shane to say, hey, you have to send someone down here to answer me now because Marcotte at this point may not be able to hold Shane down by itself. They do suspect a Baron may potentially happen soon though, so they're just trying to keep people up here. Dracana's going to be very careful because you don't have anyone else around you. And they're coming up for Dracana now, though. This Vigar better run.
Well, that's a very fast bear, as that was so much popped right there. He pops the Everfrost here. He goes gold, and I think it's just to buy time. But the DZG team is rolling up here. Oh my god! True Shot Barrage takes down the Orianna here. Now, DZG are going to be in prime position. That will be the Jinx falling LL Clasper, doing everything that they can to survive, try to get some damage on the Reality Reel, but it will not be enough. Astro on a rampage, and that True Shot Barrage just eviscerated the entire team of MG Black, and DZG say, we're just going to start up the Nash.
Yeah, that was really good. Dracana lasted a lot longer than I thought any of us thought that he would. Also took one down with him as well. It was smart on the eyes of MG Black to say, you know what, we know Veigar is up here by himself, we can do something. So the play was good. The idea was very, very good. They just couldn't kill Dracana. It had so much survivability to just say, yeah, come out and get me. Flashes were burned, like you couldn't get past the baby cage. Crasper had to use the ultimate to get over the baby cage and still then was stunned up as well, which brought so much time for the goon squad of DZG to just come up there. One thing to note is that Shane did try to TP in, but Marcotte did interrupt the teleport with the Ornn ultimates. So it's not great that Shane doesn't have TP anymore, but definitely a big plus win on the side of DZG. Now currently up, damn near close to 9,000 gold.
That was an insane play, and like you said, I give all the credit to MG Black for seeing it and going for it. It's just Dracana played it so damn well. The Everfrost bought him time. The stopwatch, or I'm sorry, the Zonias bought him time. And oh
Wait a
no,
minute.
that was going to connect, but that was a flash going over the wall from Dragon Mooncake. There did not want to tempt fate with another reality hook coming in, and we're going to have to start calling these reality checks because every time they connect, somebody typically dies. Coming from this man with the hook champion. And that mid lane tower is not long for this world, and DZG have access to this Nash. And like I talked about, these objectives, these structures, they're just going to start getting destroyed one after another. A hook comes in, and that one was inches, centimeters, like a fraction of a Teemo from connecting. And DZG are just pressuring these objectives in. Shane feeling free to heal. Yeah. Oh no, Wash is in a spot of trouble there as almost dies just from the W coming out from the Vigar. Shane just dancing around, and Marcotte has no mana here, and the side of DZG are looking to punish. They have no wave here, and Shane's going to go back, grab that wave, and Marcotte, he's going to try to channel this recall. His team is coming in. That will be the the Nautilus Ultimate coming in. The Ornhorn not coming through. Super Mega Death Rocket tanked up by Reality. And Marcotte flashing to get out of this one. I think he does. Now Shane on the front line. He's taking a lot of damage. He will be shut down. Dracana is now here with the team as well. Baby Cage connecting. And 0-2. Oh my god. Barely survives. But Astro's in the front line. Shockwave will connect just on the edge, not getting the CC. Now Astro back in the back line, feeling safe, as that was Clasper falling to the front line damage at DZG, and they get 1-for-1 trade here. They do get the tower, and DZG, I think they say, hey, we got all that we wanted. Dragon in 30 seconds. It's our soul, baby. Let's back out.
That was... I know DZG's ahead by, like 9k gold at this point? That was really close. Astro nearly got tapped. Dracana nearly got tapped. That was very tight because you only need a few kills. If Astro gets shut down,
especially
ideally onto it's just okay. Like they're back in the game at that point. Especially Jinx with the Ornn upgrade item for the Kraken as well. Forgive me, I don't know the bloody name of that thing. But the ornament has been upgraded for the side of 0-2. While there should be a free Drake and a free Soul, you can't let us go. You have to fight this.
Oh no! Objective bounty was taken. Jinx got the soul! She stole it with, I think that was a zap because, that was a Super Mega Death Rocket coming in. And oh my god, he was able to get the soul. That is huge. And not only that, but it was also an objective bounty.
That was... Oh, okay, they're back in they're still in this game. This game is not over. MG Black, that ulti from the side of 0. That was a Mega Death Rocket. It still does do execute upon monsters and large monsters as well. It just doesn't do as much. It was perfectly timed though. Now back to it has a full IE at this point. That was huge. Still a massive gold discrepancy against them, but they actually do have a chance now. Nash coming up in 2.5 minutes. If you decide a DZG, you can't really push in right now. You need that. The
Polygraph will not be able to recall, and a reality check coming through forces out the ultimate there from the side of Clasper, who has just been having to use that so defensively lately. And DZG, reality in a little bit of a tight spot here. The Windfall and Sacrifice is the name of the item we were talking about. Will just chunk down reality, and Super Mega Death Rocket is available. Will he be able to find the avenue? He's looking to potentially use it here, but Jinx, yeah, they're not ahead, but they still hurt.
Yeah, I mean, I know Jinx is just damn near shy of 4k gold down on Astro, but you don't want to get too cocky here. A Jinx will turn a fight around. 3 items on Jinx, 0-2 has got the PD ornaments as well as IE. Now that's the big one. Astro's at full build, not getting any stronger. Jinx is still dangerous though.
Oh, absolutely. And something that I want to point out, super interesting, we have our second ornament of the game coming in, and it is not who I expected to give it to. It's actually going to go to the Karma's Shurelya's here. It looks like they really want that speed increase. They want to try to find these picks. They want to try to find these shutdowns maybe to get back in the game, but I feel like it's a ticking time bomb here. You delayed yourself 5 minutes with the Dragon Steel, but DZG very much in the commanding position here still.
Yeah, now if you're the side of MG, what do? You just keep doing what you do, just total. Pick fights objectives where you can. Try not to get caught out. If you see a Baron potentially coming up, then you're going to have to contest it. I don't think you can give... I know stealing the Drake was great. If you get 2 for 2, fantastic. But you just don't... You can't let DZG take this Baron here. If you do, that may be one nail too many into the coffin. DZG is looking for a potential fake out though.
Well, they were looking for the
Astro's
death rush here. Astro trying to get a lot of damage, but we did see pings coming into this mid lane wave. So it's going to be both sides responding to this mid lane wave, trying to get it pushed out and get some control. Marcotte going forward, and I don't know if that's what you want to do. We're seeing the Trundle drop a lot. Now the Subjugate, did it come through? Ornhorn coming out as well. Orn is very low, but will he fall? True Shot Barrage not connecting anybody. Massive Shockwave, a lot of damage coming on. Dracona falls. That will also be Orn and Volibear. The side of MG Black have no front line left. Astro trying to get damage out. Oh, but that pillar coming through, will it connect? But the hook does! Reality check for days. Cute on a rampage and DZG finding a lot there. I thought that Shockwave spelled some doom, but DZG, reality checks coming through, pillars coming through, and that will be the crucial members of the side of MG Black falling, Washed and Karma not alone to do anything, as this will be the Nash falling in a minute 35 on this drink.
That was, again, real heavy knife's edge play, even though DZG is up 10k. This is what you're seeing. DZG has to end this game in the next 2 to 3 minutes. You don't want to fight the next Drake. You have to end. Because the longer this game goes, 0-2 on this Jinx is looking more and more comfortable, is shedding out more and more damage. Washed twice in a row now has nailed a dirty shockwave upon the entirety of DZG. You can't let this game go on too much longer, or else it becomes a lot shaky.
Oh my god, he connects again! The True Shot Barrage coming over the top, the ultimate now following up as well. Will this be a supportal combat? Supportal combat negative, as that will be a huge shield coming in from Karma there. Pops to Shirelli is to get out, but DZG feeling quite comfortable here to posture for this Drake.
That was pretty darn big.
That was so close. So
Dragon
close.
Mooncake still going to be able to go back. Still going to heal most to full HP here. We'll be back in time for the Drake. Now we got red combat. They just won't want to give anything up. This is good though on the side of MG. Like, you know when to fight and you know when to give up. Dragon was very, very fortunate to be able to get out of that.
Oh, yeah.
20 seconds for the next Drake. Again, Soul, you have to contest this. You can't give up this Drake. Zero is kind of on our own though.
Well, it will be DZG.
Flash
they
from
don't know that
Astro.
there's a flank here. The hook connects! The hook connects and Astro is dominating as Jinx is deleted off of Summoner's Rift. I don't think you go back for the Drake now. Maybe you have Cute in the back line, just take it at your leisure. There. But we're going to have this tower just here get eviscerated in the minion wave, by the minion wave and the damage coming out of Astro. These objectives are not going to last. Inhibitor next to fall. The Drake was started up by Q, and DZG now have themselves the Hextech Soul. It's going to be 24 seconds left on the side of 0-2 here, and DZG rotating up to this top side tower.
Oh, now DZG's taking everything. They're now figured out, hey, our wallets are thick, boy, with 4 C's. We should use this now. Not only that, has this point. Rally's still going in though. But
that will be the ultimate coming through. It wanted Dragon Mooncake, but DZG do not want to follow that one up. They knew that Jinx is back up. The entirety of MG Black is available. Now, DZG, what are they going to do? They have the minion waves here. They have access to take the Hextech gates out, and they are looking for it. Ornhorn coming in will not connect on anybody here as Astro is able to Arcane Shift out. But Orn going forward does get the knock-up on Q, but I think it's right into his doom. Shockwave only hits 2. Shane is low. Now Astro in the front line, Q going unstoppable as Jinx once again falls. Washed is going to be taking a lot of damage here, but I think it's going to be Marcotte on the front side, going to be ticking down, but will not fall. They cannot find the crucial damage. Shane was able to recall, come back in. One, Nexus Tower falls. The second one dangerously low here as Shane aggroed it up. The Nexus with a chopping block. Damage coming through. Volibear trying to buy some time here, and it will not be enough as DZG take down MG Black in game 1.
Yo, the bot lane of DZG, real MVP.
Did lose a little bit of the audio there, but
Astro just went absolutely dirty. Come back though, for the side of MG Black, because even though the games were 9-10k down, the last 2 fights prior to the final fight in the base, it got to the point where Black was saying, "Hey, we almost won those fights with some good team fighting. Like 0-2 was able to get a lot of damage out in those last 2 fights. But still though, if you're on that side, you have to think: do you let this Ezreal come through again? Astro just dirty carry that game hard. And kudos to Shane as well. Shane, while did not do so great early on, was able to stay relevant and became an absolute menace in the side lanes to where you had to send plenty to match him. But good win on the side of DZG. MG Black, I want to see more of the same, just with a little bit more confidence.
And just a little bit of the execution, right? They just lost the crucial fights in the bot lane, and we're gonna have to say that the
Look at the
reality
damage!
the reality check factor was insane. He was just hitting hook after hook and winning those early fights, doing so much, and Astro just following up perfectly. You couldn't even tell that this was their first game together because they had Drakus, as their support in the first week, and we do have reality coming in here and just showing up so big. Astro and him look like they are firing on all cylinders. But ladies and gentlemen, Astro coming in with amazing 37k damage. That woman was just unstoppable. And the rest of her team wasn't even needed in the damage department. I mean, yeah, Vygar could delete people. He never had to. The bot lane of DZG just coming up massive here, Morpheus.
Yeah. No, you have to, if you're on the side of MG, you think, okay, how do we make sure Astro doesn't have a second performance like that?
Oh, 100%.
Do you take away the Ezreal for something else? Or, if they end up taking blue side again, do you first pick Ezreal, leave the Jinx up?
Well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to head ourselves into a spectate delay and hopefully be bringing you the Game 2 draft very soon. So stand by, and I will be sure to clean up some of these production issues. But with that being said, quick break. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back getting you into the Game 2 draft of DZG Styx versus MG Black. Once again, joined here by Morpheus. And we're going to have DZG Styx on the blue side this game here, Morpheus. How you feeling about that?
I think it's a decent adaptation. One thing to notice that they've noticed, Astro is a problem, right? So you take away the Jinx here in first rotation. Last game, I believe it was the Nami that it took away. We're going to see if they end up leaving that, the Kindred, or the Caitlyn up here in Game 2. I don't think Caitlyn is necessary to ban as a champion if she doesn't smash lane. It's kind of useless. She doesn't do much of the damage mid to late, and you rely on your team to be able to allow you to help siege. So I would drop the Caitlyn ban here. Kindred ban coming in on the side of Black is good. Limits Q again. Third ban coming in on the side of DZG with last game was the Vayne. I would assume that would be the same, or unless they're willing to leave it up. No, it's gone. So similar bans coming through. Jinx is the only one that's differing so far.
And I mean, we'll be completely honest. I don't think that 0-2 played the Jinx too terribly. It's just there was nothing there for her to do with just Astro being able to throw Q after Q after Q. And then also the hooks coming out of reality were absolutely insane. And they just always found her. So maybe a positioning issue for the side of 0-2. But I mean, your front line was getting absolutely eviscerated as well. And it's really hard to have a very strong tanky front line when Trundle just says, okay, subjugate, and they have no tanky stats. So it's just all around really, really hard for the side of MG Black to navigate here. And we are seeing the first pick, Nautilus, coming in. Once again, more reality checks heading their way to the side of MG Black.
I love that. But one thing to notice is that Nami is now up. So MG Black, if they play it, Lucian Nami is a thing.
Lucian Nami is absolutely
damn near what bot lane you pick, like, you're losing to Lucian Nami. That is an extremely strong bot lane that MG Black could potentially pick up here. I am very curious to see if we are going to see the same junglers left for counters. Xayah picked up is interesting, even though Lucian and Nami have been left up. I would assume this is going to be a poke Xayah, even though low-key crit Xayah is, in my opinion, really underrated. Leona here, good answer into Nautilus, though, if it ends up getting picked up.
It's a very safe bot lane. Assuming that Leona never uses her Zenith Blade to go aggressively, right? Because the identities would not match. Xayah wants people to run into her, which is fantastic adaptation here, because the reality checks have been coming in left and right. So if Xayah ever gets looked at by this hook, and the rest of DZG come running at her, she's able to pop the Feather Storm, Blade Caller, and just eviscerate a target. We saw it piloted to amazing success in the series that we had, the Arcadia series last week that we casted. So it will be DZG's time now to probably once again go for the Ezreal, which after last game, I cannot fault them for that pick at all.
Yeah, Astro had a stand-out performance on this Ezreal. The only thing I'd say is maybe not go so far heads first into this, because, like you said, you don't want to get caught up into a Xayah or a Leona. Dracana also running back to Veigar, even though Orion is still up. We may just see a run back of that enemy play match again.
And I think that's fine, especially with how much love that Dracana got in the mid lane. We talked about, Dracana's so strong, Dracana's so strong. How many ganks did we see coming in from Cute, and how many roams from Reality did we get coming in from the bot lane? So Dracana got a lot of love there, and if they just run that back and Astro's able to stay perfectly safe in that bot lane, and leave Shane on his island, whatever, and you do get your wish for the rematch.
Yep. Throw it back into the mid lane. This will be as boring as anything until the junglers intervene. So I would assume that we are I would think that if you are on the side of Black, you may want to try. If the Ornn is left up, you can still pick the Ornn again. Mark Hotplate's perfectly fine on the Ornn. And then if you're on the side of DZG, what are you going to play into? Maybe you can play the Aurelia. Maybe you can run it back with the Renekton if you really want to. But I would assume jungle, as the bans coming through now with the Trundle ban and the Lilia, we're looking at jungle is going to be priority again.
And it makes sense. Cute did a lot, and especially since the whole strategy, get Ornn ahead. Fantastic! We have an unkillable Ornn. Plot twist, his armor stats don't matter for fuck all, because Trundle just takes them away. So that pick enabling their front line, which just got absolutely eviscerated. And we talked about the Ornn getting ahead as well. But let's look at Class Boost Volibear last game. That man was 5-0 just an absolute menace to society. Man, maybe went a little too far ahead a few times, jumping over some walls with the ultimate. But once again, Trundle just said, you don't matter. Just delete it off of Summoner's Rift. And especially with how strong Dracana and Astro were in that game. But it will not be the bear coming in again here from the side of MG Black.
Fiddles is still up. Oh, they didn't ban the Fiddlesticks this time. They banned the Volibear instead. The Volibear is banned, sorry. That could mean that you could get her Fiddlesticks. She does love the champion. And Fiddlesticks has a champion right now. If it runs even, is bloody strong. But can be easily countered with any sort of previous healer.
I am always interested to see what an amateur scene Gnar can do. Gnar can either take over a game or do absolutely nothing for 30 minutes straight. Like, the rage management is going to be crucial not only for the side of MG Black to keep an eye on here, but also for the side of DZG to notice, monitor, and manage. Knowing when you can fight against the Gnar is going to be crucial, and knowing when you can fight with a Gnar is going to be crucial. So definitely going to be something for us to keep our eyes on. And we got Shane York coming in yet again.
Shane Special, now this is where he's going to say, yeah, I had enough last game where I just kept getting ganked over and over again. Try to gank me this time, buddy. Shane, this guy's never going to group with the team. This game will be 4v5, most likely, on the side of Styx. Once Shane gets 2 items in on this Yorick, you need to send at least 2 to 3 people to shut him down. But like we said at the beginning, the counter pick's going to be coming in for the junglers. The Fiddle's coming in. Let me see it.
Oh, you got it! And it will be cute on the Fiddlesticks. And this is a very interesting team comp here from DZG. Like, Vigard's going to be running around with Baby Cage. You have the Arcane Shifts coming out of Ezreal. Fiddlesticks literally just trying to swoop in from the walls. It's going to be chaos. Pure and utter chaos. And Morpheus, I'm so fucking excited.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see what Black ends up... Oh. Really? I mean, it kind of works.
I like it. The lockdown here is insane coming out of the side of MG Black. They have the Solar Flares coming in from Leona. They have the Volt Breaker coming in from Vi to lock people down. Great ball delivery systems here, too. Zenith Blade if it connects. You have Gnar with the hops. You have Vi with the Q and ult. Like, there's tools here. But it's all going to be about putting the right pressure points on to force DZG into a realm where they're able to pull that off. So this macro in this game has to be absolutely insane here from either team, Morpheus.
I would say the one thing is that this looks like a cluster comfort. This team just wants to run at you. MG, they just want to run at you. Everyone wants to run forward. And the nice thing is having a Xayah is that she can self-heal if needed. Like, if somehow... Reality lands a reality check hook on 0-2, the Xayah is able to protect herself. But Vi, Oriana, and Leon, they're not going to say, let's go forward, let me throw my balls at you. They just want to cause absolute mayhem with a ton of CC. Noticing that, along with Shane, most likely not going to be grouping up on this Yorick, they may just say, okay, Shane, you can be in the side lane, we're going to run over your team in these team fights over.
Well, this is going to be one of those factors where the identity of the Nautilus changes. It completely changes. Before, you really were using it heavily as an engagement, in my personal opinion. Heavily as an engagement. Now, it needs to be defensive, right? Because you're not going to have the York there, unless you have Fiddlesticks waiting in the wings. Fiddlesticks should not walk up blindly into this MG Black team. Otherwise, it's going to be a very bad time. Right? The reality checks no longer have the threat of a Trundle and a Renekton behind them. Yeah, you still have the Ezreal, Vigard, delete buttons, but all of this should be used extremely defensively, rotating around the map, and having York do what he does in the side lane. So I want to see the adaptation, just playstyle-wise, come out of reality here. And if this man is on the roll like he was in Game 1, then I have no doubt in my mind that they're going to be able to perform.
Yeah, this is a kind of a difficult composition for DZG to pull off. MG's comp just looks a lot more simpler. Just walk forward, put the ball on me, let me run into you.
Yeah.
But on the side of DZG, you have to think, hey, if we are going to be coming into a potential 4v5, we have to play these out real slow. We have to wait till a lot of abilities are outburn on the side of MG, and then you can run back into them. Reality's going to have his work cut out, and this guy needs to be one beefy boy. But when you compare Cute to Glasper as well, Vi just dumpsters on a Fiddlesticks.
100%.
because you just hold the knockback until the Fiddles presses W to get the heals off. Guess what? You can't do anything. Okay, you fear me, I walk away a wee bit, but you still can't fight me.
And then Vault
The
Breaker
W
right
is
in.
what's... Yeah, and if I get a Bramble, well, guess what? Your healing is cut down heavily as well. Like, but I do. This is one of Keith's favorite champions, so I do expect her to expect this and know what to go into. So early items such as Zhonya's will be pretty darn important. I would think maybe a Rocket Belt will be coming in as well, but curious to see how it ends up going out.
So real quick, we have Shane piloting the Orc in the top lane, Cute on the Fiddlesticks, Dracona Vigar, Astro and Reality piloting Ezreal and Nautilus respectively. We have the Gnar, Vi, Orianna, Saya, and Leona coming in here for the roster of MG Black. We already agreed the ease of execution definitely falls to MG Black's pocket, but Morpheus, we see both lineups. Who do you give the edge to?
I'm going to give the very, very slight edge to MG Black because of ease of comp.
Well, we saw what happened last time when the slight edge was over on MG Black. DZG dominated Game 1. Let's head into a quick spectate delay, and hopefully we can see a repeat. But if not, I'm always down to see some good League of Legends. So ladies and gentlemen, we'll just be right back, and we'll be bringing you some Game 2 action. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back onto the Rift here at Game 2, as it will be DZG. One game up in this series versus the side of MG Black. Now, both teams taken to the Rift here, looking at standard 5-man fanouts here, not looking to do anything cheeky like they did, and that's an early control ward here coming out, Morpheus. But, joined with you yet again, and what do we see in level 1 that, might strike your fancy?
The control was interesting. Throwing that out, maybe they just say that because they want to put their attention on top side to just buy cute as much vision as they can. They're going to assume that Clapper will be starting bot here at the blue, and with Astro and Reality potentially coming into lane early, it may give the signal that Clapper would want to go into red side territory of DZG and take the red. So it's just preemptive vision, which is always good to see. Second one is Astro starting tier. I prefer starting tier. It's how I would like to play the Ezreal outs. But also, not a lot of people would generally agree with it. In solo queue, you do see a high win percentage rate, according to Lolalytics, that you end up starting a longsword instead of the tier. You end up technically to win more games. It's kind of a toss-up, though. So this tells me that Astro is just going to be much more passive about this and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to sit back, want to land some Qs, have some fun, have some lunch, take our time here, instead of just going all the way forward. Dracana's doesn't know how to step backwards, though.
So that is interesting. We're seeing the corrupting pots coming out of both of them, but Orianna's not one of those mid lane champions that you want to play the auto attack game with. Her autos, her passive increases the magic damage of each of her autos, ramping up the more autos that she does get, and it will be just kind of business as usual here. But one of the things that I really like to see from the side of DZG, and you mentioned it in the draft, right? Vi beats Fiddlesticks, but it is going to be comfort for Cute. That does not mean that Cute should feel comfortable at any point taking any sort of trades or, just jungle skirmishes. So that control ward really offering her a lot of early game safety, but Washed getting a lot of damage here onto the side of Dracana in this mid lane early.
Yeah, you have to remember it's also rune choice as well. Predator is not right now particularly useful. You can't use it yet. Going something like a Comet or an Electrocute even, you would have potentially won more trades. But if you notice on the bot lane, we did not see this last game. Both have hit 2. If you're on the side of Reality, you don't exactly want to go flying in just yet because you have Root and also insert Leone here, which will just keep you CC'd up for days. You're never getting out of that. So I don't assume there to be a lot of fighting down here, especially particularly with Astro's first item choice. They're going to want to keep this as boring as possible, buy time for Cute to just farm up as much as she can. I would imagine attention will be put up here for Shane on the Yorick, just to be able to say, hey, we can get him a kill, because once Yorick gets a lead early, it becomes extremely difficult for a Yorick to throw that away, but it's also Shane's Yorick. This is a very comfort pick for him. So he would be able to run with that lead and transition that very heavily into the game.
Fortunately for the Gnar, the biggest lockdown that Shane does have access to is a baby cage. That is something also fun to consider. DZG have access...
Maybe it's the baby cages.
Yeah. DZG have access to drop down a lot, and we did get a disconnect here from the side of 0-2. Instant reconnect. I don't know if we're going to pause here coming out of that, but it looked like they did drop a pause, and we just didn't get it in the spectate. May cause some spectate issues here in the future. But one of the things is that DZG have that map creation, but Gnar is able to easily just hop out of it, or maybe even just auto his way out, depending on what he wants to do. So Shane's biggest lockdown tools are going to be slightly mitigated here. Onto the side of Morcott. Now, he is connecting with those left and right, going to get a lot of damage, but Meganar is going to come out soon, and I can't imagine it's going to be super aggressive. Now, one thing that I did want to point out, in the bot side of the map, we did see Xayah throughout the queue and instantly Blade Caller, so it does look like Zero wants to play this very aggressively and get the trading patterns out, instead of kind of like waiting to line stuff up, but Shane's taking a lot of damage. The Meganar is doing a lot here. Vi sneaking into the top side of the map. Oh, that was a flash out of Dragon Mooncake. The Blade Caller did not root anybody up, and Fiddlesticks was there on the bot side. I don't know if Shane knows he did ping it out, so he might have been able to get vision on that, and it was the Vi recalling here, but Shane's going to probably play this very careful. Now, mid lane, nothing too crazy going on here, but Orianna does not have any access to mana, so I think for the next couple minutes here, it's going to be very boring. It's Infernal Drake spawning in 10 seconds.
I think the only thing to keep an eye on is that Klasper was up there, so if Shane had decided to keep that fight going, he most likely would have died. It's not great for a Yorick. Like, you want to be able to sit up. Gnar will have the advantages early because he is a lot more mobile. But once I would assume Shane is going for a Triforce here, I would be able to keep it. Never mind.
That Zenith Blade will connect. Now Dragon Moon Cake taking a lot of damage, and now Astro flashing forward, getting a lot of damage out. The Ignite will be there, and the first blood comes through. Now Vi's here in the bot lane. Reality will flash out, and I think they just walked this one out. DZG getting a quick first blood into the pockets of Astro, who was so dominant last game.
That should not have happened. That should have been a kill over to MG here. But instead, Astro fully committing to the fight, even though just having a tier to get the fight going. Getting first blood, again, just like game one. Slowly moving things again into the favor of DZG. They're only 600 gold up right now. A lot of that has come from the first blood. One thing to notice that is... never mind. Oh, nice flash from Shane.
Yeah, Shane was forced to use the flash there. The ultimate does come out of nowhere, and that top lane not going in his favor as he is 20 CS down. Now, it will be Wash locked in the baby cage, has access to the shockwave, and is not going to pull it. But, no, going back to that fight, Morpheus, that was awesome to see from the side of DZG, and I don't think that's Dragon meant to connect onto that Zenith Blade. Now, Shane looking very aggressive. He does connect with the slow. Nara's just going to be able to hop out, and that will be first strike going over to the side of MG Black.
Yeah, and this is the thing, even though they lost first blood there, they did make the good proactive play afterwards, just saying, okay, we lost first blood, what can we actually do here? And at that point they thought, well, they knew Astro had to back, didn't have a lot of health after that, same with Reality, free Drake for them. Top lane, this is going to be a very, very common space where Makoto and also Shane are just going to be trading back and forth. It does favor the Gnar right now. Plated Steel Caps does come through on the side of Shane for the Yorick. Just curious if he's going to TP back to tower so he doesn't lose as much minions as he could have. I would imagine that once this lane bounces off, the Gnar will also back and TP back into lane as well. Now look at the bot lane. Astro versus Zero.
Oh, Cute's up here, and they know Marcotte. He goes forward. Now it gets instantly feared. Now Cute's trying to put some damage out, but Vi's on the top side of the map here. Now Clasper looking for something, but will not follow it up. And I think, oh man, I think Gnar's just taking a lot of damage here to the Krugs. Probably going to clear this camp and then recall. But that reality check will connect onto Dragon. Oh no, Spectate, what are you doing? Now, Dragon Mooncake is low. Zaya getting a lot of damage out onto Astro, but nothing going to be following up here, as that will just kind of fizzle out. Reality checks are awesome to see. Washed has no mana. I don't even think they can shockwave if they wanted to. Reality sitting in this bush, looking to maybe fish for it again, but DZG just looking fantastic here as Shane will start to get some of these plates. He was sitting about 15 CS down, but you look at it, he's dead even. Now, Clasper going forward, we'll get the Q connecting onto Dracana, and it will be the flash for flash trade there in the mid lane. DZG will take the Scuttle Crab for their troubles. Now, Reality here looking for Clasper, but the Predator was popped. They were really fishing for that catch on Defy there. They know that Washed has no mana to be able to do anything.
That was... I was so hoping for a hook. I just want to see Reality just keep moving forward. The hooks have been dutty. Both games, like, they've been really, really good. I just want to see more of it. Q is down here, though. This is a Fiddlesticks at level 6. Now, if this wave ends up pushing to DZG, which is what it looks like, and we do apologize, viewers, there is a little bug on the stream right now. If you see DZG and MGB on the top, flip them around, and that's where you will see it. Q is waiting here, though. If this Fiddlesticks does go in, this could be huge. However, one thing to keep in mind...
Oh, the ultimate goes forward! Dragon Mooncake is feared, but will pop out. Oh, Reality check does not connect the double silence. Now that will be the Featherstorm coming out. The root. Oh no, Clasper is here! Reality taking a lot of damage. The ultimate instantly going out onto Cute's Fiddlesticks. Now Cute forced to flash away. They're running for their lives, and MG Black strike back in the bottom.
And remember what we said at the beginning of the game. This is Zero-2 has really good self-peel and self-sustain. And then what are you going to do? You're going to run into the Leona? Leona can damn near stun you with almost any ability that she has. You don't want to chase into that. So if you're on the side of DZG, you have to think, okay, didn't go as good as we wanted it to. However, saying that, it could have been a lot worse. Fight with Dracana mid lane, though, doesn't really end up getting much out of it. Dragon Mooncake, once this Leona hits 6, is going to be lethal though. Zero-2 did end up getting a tier as well. Now we're back to normal state. Gold is even.
Roughly even. Now Shane is slightly behind in the top lane, and that's just a CS differential. We do see the mid lane is dead even, and Astro with a 400 gold lead in her pocket. And that's coming just mainly from the first blood and the 10 CS lead that she has as well. DZG, dead even in this game, but they don't have the Drake. It will be a mountain coming up in a minute and 30, and those tank stats, they're going to help a little bit, but they're not going to make or break the game for sure.
Yeah, I think at this rate to think, if you're on the side of MG, we saw that in the bot lane. They can't look a lot easier to... Actually, oh Jesus, that Q hurts.
Oh, and that was without a Sheen. He has no access to the Sheen, which I imagine that Yorick will probably go. He's either going to go for the Divine Thunderer first, or maybe opt to go for the Warbreaker or Hullbreaker. Sorry. So definitely some options in his pocket. Nara is looking to go Mega here, and we've seen him play this very aggressively. And we are seeing Clasper start up the Herald on the top side of the map. Access to the Mega Gnar should make them feel very safe and cute. No access to the ultimate here. It's going to be a very rough time if DZG want to try to contest this objective, but I don't even know if they know what's going on.
Yeah, one thing to keep an eye on is that once Shane gets his Triforce...
Oh, no!
Oh, wait,
the reality check. He scuffed it. It went right into the wall. The ultimate now coming out. Dragon Mooncake is here. Now they're looking for Dragon Mooncake. Will get the stun. The shockwave. Huge. But Dracana. I'm sorry. Yes, Dracana has slain Wash. Now the ultimate coming in over the top here from Cute. A lot of damage coming out. Dragon Mooncake so low. Dracana running for their life and barely survives. But DZG strike back in the mid lane with 2 kills into their pocket. And Dracana living with the edge of his teeth will manage to live that one out. DZG 2-0 in the mid lane.
He was down to single digits. There was no health bar visible. There was nothing. That was easily a swing in both ways, but DZG coming out top with that was actually huge, because now this Veigar has 2 kills, has just picked up his Mythic on the back here as well. Really far ahead of Wash. We've seen this 2 games
the
in a
aggressive
row
now
now.
coming out of Marcotte here. Will he be able to follow this up? And no, it will not be anything coming out. Maiden is available in like 2 seconds here from Shane, and I think Shane will then want to fight. But whoa, Astro, what happened in the bot lane? We just see the side of MG Black start up this Drake in the bot side of the map. But Spectator was like, hey, check out this top fight. And Astro, with another, I imagine, True Shot Barrage, stole the second Drake here from the side of MGB. Now, that is the 3rd objective steal we've seen in this series. 2 for Astro, 1 for 0-2. These 80 carries are so exciting to watch with these cross-map objective steals.
Yo, I just want to see when we get into a big-ass team.
Oh, Clasper!
Never mind.
They went forward with the Blast Cone, but I don't think that's what they wanted. DZG just instantly poked them out, and now that is the Vi running. That Baby Cage connects. That's a lot of damage. Will it be the ultimate? Shockwave coming out now. Dracana is low, does not have access to the ultimate, trying to close the gap. Clasper getting onto Dracana now, and will shut them down. But the Q coming in will take down Vi as well. Clasper falls. That will be 0-2 falling. DZG with a 2-1 fight. And now we see Cute looking very aggressively here. Has access to the ultimate. Negative in 10 seconds, I'm sorry, but DZG should get some plates for their troubles. Sitting on a 2k gold lead here, DZG just commanding the game and taking everything that they want.
Yeah, just like game 1, like, even though DZG's comp is harder to run here, they are using what they know to be best about it. Dracana, again, this guy doesn't die. Like, they had to throw everything at him, and he's piloting this Veigar really, really well. To not only be able to throw out all the damage that he needs to, but be able to stay alive as long as he can as well. And we're also funneling more gold into Astro. Astro has picked up the Essence Reaver, has got the free boots as well. I would imagine with this back, we'll be able to pick up parts, if not the whole, of her Manamune, while Shane is just saying, hey, no one's up here. I'm going to take this tower.
And take that tower, he will. He gets so many plates up here. The Demolish coming through clutch. And he has to be damn close to a Hullbreaker here. He's sitting on 600 gold, should not get it this back. But that will be the Herald dropped here in the top side of the map. And Shane's going to lose some plates for his troubles. 18 seconds, I don't think he can stall this one out. Maiden doing everything that it can. And no, Herald's going to be charging up. 10 seconds for plates, and 320 gold goes into Clasper's pocket. Gold, only 1.4k difference here, but now Dracana's in a little bit of trouble here. The ultimate comes through, does make Clasper unstoppable now. It will be the damage going over the wall. Kelly following it up, and it will be Dracana falling. Now Clasper next on the chopping block as Shane will get that damage out. I think Maiden was the one that get that tick. Washed up here now, trying to get the damage out. It will be also the support of MG Black joining this as well, and DZG will lose Dracana, but they do take out the Clasper for their troubles. DZG now setting their sights on this bot lane tower. You have to think this falls here, and not in a piloting position for the side of, oh no, that connects, and will he be able to follow this up? Those minions do so much damage. But DZG should get first tower.
Yep, first tower here. Again, look where it goes into. Hey, I'm Astro. Give me more gold, please. This is slowly becoming a repeat of last game. Astro is 1,400 gold up on 0-2. However, Dragon Mooncake is back down here again, maybe making something happen. They do want to take this top lane down, though. You need to take this top lane down away from Shane to stop giving him any protection further up in the lane. Force that tower down and allow it to where he has to move up to try and get CS and abuse it. Because the longer this goes like this is great for the Yorick. Shane doesn't care. He's going to say, yeah, we're just going to keep doing this. And I can just keep throwing out my E to chunk down Nara as best I can. And from there, it's like, and then I'll choose when I want to fight. But they have to take this top lane tower down.
With Shane opting in for the Hullbreaker first item, he does not have access to the incredible power that Sheen is able to get him in these trades. But Dracana going forward, he has access to the ultimate. He does not. So now Dracana once again will get the kill on the wash. Clasper on his ass and does not have access to enough CC apparently to feel comfortable taking that one forward, but it will be Reality here in the top lane. The ultimate comes out, the whole hop already used. Now Reality check does not connect, but Shane walking this one forward anyway. Now Dracana trying to live this one out. The ultimate is no longer available here from Vi, and Dracana has access to his now. So it will be Clasper walking this one out. Dracana just 4-2 on this Vigar, doing the Lord's work here in this game. Now Dragon Moon in the mid lane, but Cute is here as well. Now Shane just abusing Gnar as much as possible, getting that damage, and he should have access. Yes, that is a Hullbreaker waiting for him in base. 20 seconds here on this Dragon.
Yep, you'll never see Shane join the team unless the fight comes to him at this point. Because, okay, yes, the Gnar can potentially match him in the side lane, but Shane will just chunk you out so much to where you just be irrelevant.
Well, the Gnar doesn't have Hullbreaker, and I feel like as Gnar, you can't answer this Yorick if you ever go Mega, unless you're able to just poke him out with the Divine Sunderer autos here. Now, we will have a fight. That is going to be the ultimate coming through. Now, it will be the damage coming out massively onto 0-2. Did have the patience, did not pop the Featherstorm here, so no ultimate for ultimate trade here, and Tower dies in the top lane, as that will be El Marcotte taking that one down, and Shane has access now to not only the Hullbreaker, but the Sheen. I don't know if Gnar wins these anymore.
I mean, this is what we said we wanted. Marcotte does take the top lane tower down, but Shane has the Hullbreaker now, while Gnar has the Sunderer, so it comes a game of catch-22 there. First Drake going down here for the third Drake going down here for DZG. We are looking at, I guess, more Hextech. Again, another Hextech, but this is where it makes it a bit more of a difference.
No. The Zenith Blade connected, but the Baby Cage stopped the aggression. The defensive hook coming out here, but the Shockwave just barely connected. Featherstorm layered over the top, and a lot of damage going through. 0-2 picks up 2, and it will be Vi connecting onto Cute for the third kill. DZG just get wiped off, as that was a massive fight for the side of MG Black.
What did we say at the beginning of the game? The comp on the side of MG Black is a lot easier to play than it is on the side of DZG. All they need to do is get together and run at you. And that's the first fight we've seen where they all got together and run at you. Shane was halfway down the river to potentially look to join his team. But what are you going to do? Like, it's you. The rest of your team is dead at that point. And you're a Yorick. You have Hullbreaker, bro. Like, it doesn't make sense to join the team in that sense. There might have been a bit of a wake-up call for DCG as the gold has now become level. 18 minutes in. It will be Hextech Drake again for game 2 here. If you're on the side of DZG, all your money, and I'm a gambling man, is in the pocket of Dracana right now. But with Astro also having 2 items, they still are ahead item set wise. I do believe that MG will have a little bit easier time in executing within fights though.
Oh, certainly. And you know, you did get your Eclipse Zaya coming out here. She does have access to the Aerie, and they also have the Herald to really put this gold lead in their position for the first time really in this series. So DZG need to find out how they want to play this map. They looked for some picks that were really cheeky there in the bot lane, but they weren't able to find anything. Now Clasper is definitely in trouble. The ultimate coming out, and it will not be enough. The ultimate now coming out from Reality. Q goes over the wall. That will be the Vi falling. That will be Dragon Moon falling next in DZG in the top side enemy jungle. Fine too. And now they are joining their Yorick here to really push in these top towers. These towers are just going to melt. Maiden does so much damage. Wash maybe looking for something of a shockwave here. But Reality, it does connect. Reality check onto Wash. Shockwave to buy some time. But it will be an Ezreal Q coming over the wall. DZG Astro 2-0 has access to the Mana Mune. Has access to the Essence Reaver. They're feeling quite good. In DZG, there's some freestanding gold there in the mid lane as well for them to take. They were saying, hey, this gold lead might swing into the favor of the side of MG Black here, but 2k gold lead right back in DZG's pocket.
Yep, that was huge. I mean, generally you don't know whether you really want to group up with a Yorick, but that worked out really, really good for them, though. We may see a dive come here, though, after the
Oh, you should. Featherstorm popped, and it will buy some safety. DZG Astro on the front side of the map, that is the Q. Flash
Markot's
forward,
behind him.
that is Markot in the back side. DZG Astro will fall, shutdown going into Vi's pocket, but the trade over will cause Clasper to die.
Shane's
DZG's
here.
bot lane is dead. Shane doing a lot here, just eviscerate. Xayah has no access to the Featherstorm, now alone in the back line, will fall as Markot takes him down, and that will be 4 members of DZG falling just for the 2 of the side of MG Black. Now we've seen the recall channel. There will not be any more cheeky looks here coming in from Cute, and DZG just not getting what they need in that one.
Markot was the game changer there. He came up from behind with TP to be able to completely catch DZG by surprise. Had Markot not been there, that would have been an easy fight for DZG. But Markot on this now, 3-0, has been really, really powerful for his team to be able to stay heavily relevant. Gold is, only 1,500 if that? But saying that, like, you would imagine that it's more or less more even at this point. Items coming in on both sides now. Triforce has been completed for Shane, so he's just going to be staying on the sideline, I would imagine. He's just going to go, we're going bot. He doesn't have TP up for a while, but he's just going to say, hey, come fight me. Because he fought 3v1 there and still got a decent amount off. He ended up getting the kill to 0-2. And on this Xayah, well, you have to be so careful running into a Xayah. This team doesn't want to fight into a Xayah, because one good Featherstorm, and guess what? You lot ain't moving and you lot are dead.
And she's able to just use it to get out of the baby cage from the Vigar. She's able to jump up into the air, move around. There's no terrain for her to really stop. And then when she landed, the team was just there to follow up. DZG now need to identify their next point of pressure. They have York down here in the bot lane, dragging up in 30 seconds, and they might really want to fight this one. This will put them on soul point, but that Narbar is looking pretty full. DZG need to find the right avenue to get a pick, ideally, because things are not looking too great for them right now. Vigar wants to go again, going for the super defensive option of the second item. Zonya's here. Rift Herald popped and will be walking into the bot lane here. Baby Cage coming out, damage coming out, and it will be Gnar going into Mega. Now they're looking for the dash forward pick onto reality, but it will not be enough. Huge ultimate into the backline, shut down onto Gnar. That will also be Orianna and Vi falling. Oh my god, Leona dies next. 4 members so fast. 5 members of the side of MG Black. Sorry, words are hard. And DZG with a clean ace. And that is the fight they needed. Cute on this Fiddlesticks with a massive ultimate into literally the entire lineup of the side of MG Black. Another Drake falls. DZG once again sitting on soul point.
That was slightly ambitious on the side of Markot. The idea was great. But I think that was almost too far. They were forced because once Gnar is about to hit Mega, you have to fight. And MGB was like, hey, we saw this and had to really act upon it. It just wasn't in a great opportune time for them. Clasper had to use Q to get over the wall. Zero was fairly heavily out of a lot of that fight. Astro ulti, True Shot Barrage just goes through everyone. Dracana was just like baby caging up the whole place and ended up popping, I believe it was Washed. Like, it was just very difficult for them to all catch up with Markot. While the engage was sound and it was warranted, it was still very difficult for them to be able to catch up to this. DZG have now ballooned this gold lead from once it was 1,500 before that fight, is now at, what are we? 500-600 now, give or take? 5,000-6,000, give or take? This game is fully into the hands of DZG. Astro's now picked up that third item as well. Third item picked up for Shane. This is heavy in their favor now.
Certainly. And
even the pup agrees.
and you talked about it. You hit the nail on the head. Dracana landing the W on the Vigar, hitting Markot on the Gnar, who was barely just hugging that Narbar. Hugging the Narbar, waiting for the right moment to go in, and was forced. Dracana landing that W, forced that rage, and then from there, Gnar was just said, okay, well, my go button is now, and only found reality. Now, reality is looking aggressively, does not connect with the reality check here, but does connect with the ultimate. Cute is in the right position as we were going forward, and Astro has taken down and Washed yet again. This topside jungle is just a graveyard for the side of MG Black. And now, Shane fighting onto Markot here, doing a lot of damage. Now, Mega Gnar is available, but does he want to fight? And the answer is no. The stun will not connect, and Shane is feeling damn comfortable in the side lane. 5-1 in this York. And DZG just start up the Nash. They have no cares here, but they have to be ready for the 50-50 smite here, and it will be DZG pushing into the spot side, getting a lot done here, but Vi is right over this wall. Will she be able to get in here? DZG slowing down on it a little bit, not pumping this damage, but Shane just eviscerating the structures. Oh, DZG, they're playing this with so much patience. It's a complete bait. They say, we're not taking the 50-50, we're taking your inhibitor. DZG with a beautiful macro play. Now they're looking forward. They're getting a lot of damage on the Dragon Mooncake. Cute going forward with the ultimate available. Now, not going to find anybody. The flea will come through. The silence, will it be enough? As that will be a lot of damage on the Dragon Mooncake. The teleport now coming through. He has access to the Mega, but it will be Reality who falls. Washed. The ultimate does come through now. Vi coming through as well. A lot of damage on Astro here. Shane coming in, but will it be enough? Clasper is now the target. DZG, they got the inhibitor, but now they're going to lose 3 members of their roster. Dracana falls. The entire bot lane falls. DZG get an inhibitor, but they lose 3 members for their trouble. They only took down Washed, and that was so well executed from both sides, but DZG just with too much ambition, if you ask me. And definitely a lot more value going into the pocket of the side of MG Black, but it's now all about this Nash dance here. The bot lane inhibitor is exposed. Teleport's no longer available here. What is the next play, Morpheus?
That was not necessary on the side of DZG. Once Wash showed bot lane with Marcotte to defend against Shane, they should have just turned back on the Baron. That's a 4v3. You win that, hands down. Why the fight came out afterwards, why they wanted to chase down the rest of them, didn't work. After Q went in and really didn't land much with the ultimate, at that point you have to say, okay, we have to show some restraint and back out. But the team just seems extremely committed to move forward. Washed is in trouble here, though. You're not getting away from the Yorick, mate.
Absolutely is. The baby cage comes out, the damage comes out, and Shane is on a killing spree. That was a very dead Clockwork doll there, as 0-7 on this Orianna. Washed is having a rough go at things.
Yeah, at this point, what do you do if you're on the side of DZG? Shane, go top lane. The rest of us, go to Baron. You win this. There's no way they can fight you. If they send Marcotte top to fight Shane, or to at least hold against him, this now does not beat this Yorick. It just doesn't happen. You send everyone else Baron, you take top lane as well, you take a multitude of objectives here with the ease of knowing that they just cannot fight you under any sense.
Well, they send everybody, and that objective melted. That Nash, not long for this world as DZG picks that one up. 30
just
seconds here.
Just walk away.
30 seconds here onto the Drake. Now you definitely put Shane into that top lane. They take this soul, and if they get that, this game is 100% DZG's to lose. Now, just clearing the minion waves here, waiting for this objective to spawn up. Shane is just going to be an unstoppable force in this top lane, as nobody's even thinking about contesting him. He's just walking up here, Morpheus.
Yeah, this game is just... This is where DZG's really starts to come into play. You have to answer Shane. The guy has got 3 items, though. Like, you can't answer... You have to send at least 2 up there to answer him. But if you do, you can't contest this Hex Tech. But the side of Mag, they didn't know which one would be better. So they took so long. Now that Shane's potentially able to get out of there, flashes out. Dragon Mooncake cannot continue to chase. Maybe he could have flashed to follow you up. But you've not only lost top tower, you've also lost Soul. If you don't have Baron, I believe this game is just a matter of time. In the next minute or 2, this game should be done.
Certainly, DZG have access to all the tools they need. They put Shane wherever they please. Honestly, you put Shane in the top lane, send the rest of the members in the mid lane, and you just barrel this one down. I don't even think with a perfect fight in the mid lane, a 5v5, like, the stats are so heavy in the favor of DZG. We look at where the gold is allocated. Orianna has access to 1 item. Shockwave is going to be piteous when it comes to its damage profile. All the damage has to come from Xayah, but she's burst. You need the execution to come in from Vi, but I don't know if you're going to be able to lock up Ezreal with the Crown of the Shattered Queen. DZG have access to all they need, and they take another mid lane tower. Yorick going up into the bot side, but they're looking for it now. Dragon Mooncake connects on the... Oh no, Dracana destroys 0-2. Does not have access to the Featherstorm. Damage coming out now. Clasper forced to flash out. Now, cute. A lot of damage onto both the Orianna and Dragon. Now, they're looking for stuff to go back in that will be these, the Guardian Angel popped here. Marcotte trying to get out, but will just be evaporating here. As the side of DZG look forward. Reality check does not connect. Now, is Shane just in the base? Cute is here as well. 1 Nexus tower falls. You have to imagine the second one falls soon after Shane is eviscerating these objectives. Nexus on the chopping block. DZG with a clean-ass 2-0.
Very well executed on the side of DZG. They did what they wanted to do early. Get Shane ahead, leave him on his own. Shane was able to join fights, and once he hit that 3 item with that Thornmail,
I'm gonna lose some audio real quick as League Client loves to mess my stuff up.
Became extremely difficult for Ed. Just didn't rely on Veigar. Like, just kept living at 1 HP over and over and over again. We do want to see more of what MG Black did in game one, because even though they were like 9k behind, that game was still on a knife's edge longer that game went on. Commiserations to MG Black, though. Well done. Congratulations to DZG Styx.
Well, looking at these stats, I imagine once again we're going to see a lot of damage coming out of here from the side of the Ezreal. Let's see if I can't pull up these stats. I know it's going to be small, and I ask you to bear with me. But actually, most of the damage coming here from the Vigar, there was so much coming out, and then just the damage wasn't really needed. DZG played that map, played that team comp so damn well. We said the ease of execution wasn't in their favor, but they didn't need easy. They needed the go buttons, they needed the map rotations, and they played it very well, Morpheus.
Yeah, at that point, it was unfortunate the mid laner for MG Black wasn't able to play into the game much. It was only 10,000 damage there, but just kept getting ganked over and over again. Dracarna did a very good job in shutting down mid. Veigar generally shouldn't lose at least most of the common matchups within mid lane, because you should be able to just sit back and just keep it as boring as you can to farm up the storm. The two team fights that MG Black did win, they just went fully hard into the team. What I did notice, though, was that twice it just walked right past Dracarna and tried to get onto Astro. While Astro was still definitely the problem there, you can't leave Veigar on his own, mate. And that fight at the very end, 3-man baby cage, just nailed this, just ended the game at that point.
Well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming out and checking out DZG Styx. Sorry for a little bit of the production hiccups, but I want to remind everybody yet again that we are being sponsored by the Star Trek Starfleet mobile game. Please, exclamation mark, star in the chat. Get that link, play a little bit. If you don't like it, uninstall it. I don't care, but just check it out for us, please. It helps keep the lights on, pays for these beautiful casters like Morpheus here with me, and keeps the teams running at full steam. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Check us out next week as we will be bringing you some more DZG Styx action as they continue to plow through in the Metashift Xenon League. I hope you all have a wonderful night.
Bye!